Hey guys, so before I get into the main points of this episode, I actually want to talk about something amazing that actually happened. That I don't know if many people are going to talk about, which is that it. Watch the episode again, and you'll notice something strange. There was no recap. It just jumped straight into the episode itself. And I don't know if this was a rare occasion where Toei felt that there was a large enough gap between the anime and the manga that they felt comfortable enough to just doing an episode without one, or they simply didn't want to break up the transition and pacing of Big Mom chasing down the Brachia tank. But this kind of but honestly, it's one of those episodes where just by virtue of not having the recap, it already kind of turned into one of the better episodes. Like simply, just from simply not having it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like Wano has been straight has been fire week to week, but weirdly, just by making this small change, it kind of made a bit more of a world of difference in the enjoyment for me. Um, and of course, the actual chase itself was just so fucking hilarious. In fact, let's be real here. Chopper and Usopp were the fucking MVPs of this damn episode. Like they are the ones who pretty much took, who pretty much became, who were willing to who put themselves straight in Big Mom's sights and didn't even care. Like and they were ready. Well, they might have been afraid, but they were ready, willing, and able to take her on, and I kind of love it. Um, and and I do like how and I do like how the actual chase itself it does serve a legitimate purpose of in order to provide a means to isolate Big Mom away from all the other major players and make it more manageable for in order to not in order to fight her. Now, granted, she still put up a fight. In fact, I think the anime might already be treating Big Mom better than the manga did in this arc. But the fight in itself, it really wasn't meant to actually defeat her, just distract her while everyone else was out there just kind of while everyone else was just kind of snuck in and ready to deal with their own and ready to deal with their own fights. So yeah, I like how they're how Usopp and Chopper are actually are distracting we're distracting Big Mom in this episode, which allowed the others to kind of in order to start doing their thing. Now, with that said, the other thing I feel this episode did well, and it's mostly I think it is mostly due to the Seiyu portraying him, but I feel this episode did a much better job at portraying Orochi's like desperation and fear upon learning that the Pirate Alliance has arrived at Onigashima, because it shows, contrary to what he may have said or how confident he was in his ability to deter the threat of the Akaze 9, Orochi in this moment is genuinely afraid of them. And I could be wrong, but I think the anime kind of added a few extra scenes to his overall reaction after Kanjuro told him the Alliance was on their way, which I kind of loved even more just because it shows how quickly the veil has kind of dropped and how and really the only thing that's left for Orochi is to basically act out of pure paranoia. Like he is at this point he is paranoid to his fucking core. He fears the Akaze 9 that much, and like he was so he's in this moment he's so terrified, so afraid that even Kaido's reassurance isn't even enough, which in itself is also giving us little hints that Orochi's fear, I think, is what ultimately will be what does him in, really, when you get down to it. Um, Now, one thing I really loved about this episode that I strangely never considered in the manga is how interconnecting is how interconnected like moments and all these moments and characters tied to Odin are now collectively gathering on pretty much Onigashima, especially with Marco and Izo obviously being the more obvious ones. But like it's one of those things where even though they're only on their it's one of those things where even though they're only on their way to their island right now, I'm finding myself appreciating their like emotional connections to Wano, as well as like their history with Odin and why they're there to help. I'm kind of appreciating a lot of that more than I ever considered before, and how these smaller connections feel like even more important as the bigger ones. Like obviously we know that Marco and Izo probably like Marco, for example, he's probably there. He's going to be there as a support role, but even just in him being in that role, it kind of shows a very a very emotional connection to Wano and how much he like and it just from him being there, it shows how much of a connection he pretty much he had with Owen. Like it shows way more of how much of an appreciation he had for Owen than what was portrayed for us. Like like Marco might not have known Owen for long, but he knew him long enough in order to hold a genuine respect for him, and I really do appreciate that. Like again, the little moments with it, and and obviously with Izo being one of the Akazan Nine, he himself feels like more than a little bit of a responsibility in order to be there. But I also like how the other thing that's drawing him to there, other than that, is how other than like fulfilling Odin's prophecy sort of thing, is he genuinely he wants to be there for his brother. And yeah, I again I love those little connections. Um, now with that said, the other interesting thing to talk about, I guess, in this episode is I love how like Denjiro is using he's using his whole like he's using his whole he had used his disguise in order to trick in order to trick in order to pull the wool over Sasuke's eyes in this episode. I mean, in some ways you could say maybe it was too easy and maybe they tricked him a little too easily, but I do think that there is merit to the way it happened here with him using his with Denjiro using his previous like identity as Kyoshiro as a means to kind of just in order to trick him. Like it is a legitimate way in order to do things. And now again, whether or not I do question. Even to this day, I still question how they overpowered him, but it still works. Um, Now, with that said, there is a bit of an odd in-universe continuity hiccup to talk about in this episode, which is when Usopp and Chopper are busy leading Big Mom away from the others. We see Kinemon like everyone is basically hiding, and the way Kinemon is hiding, we see him submerged in water. Whereas in the manga, I think he was just holding onto the dock pillars or something. But yeah, he was definitely not directly in the water because he's eating a devil fruit. So yeah, I don't know why Toei made a change like that, but maybe it was just easier to draw him submerged. But yeah, Kinemon should have been drowning the moment he hit the water. Just saying, it's a little bit of a continuity hiccup that kind of bugs me, but it is what it is. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Analyst, Crunchyroll, and be sure to hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later.